Do you see everything okay?
Yes, Rachel, it's all good.
All right, great. Have we started?
Yes, we you can start whenever you're ready.
Okay, great. So, thank you everybody for joining us here at GK here. We are here today to discuss and demonstrate our Miami Bombshell teaming system. And our products, our revolutionary products, our hair care products are designed actually to deliver healthy hair and beautiful hair as well as confidence for all. So, my name is Rachel Summer, and again, thank you again for joining us. I've been with the company as an educator for a little over 10 years, and I'm so excited today to be here with you guys because I really think you're going to love this, our GK Hair Miami Bombshell teaming system, which will deliver frizz-free hair as well as up to 90% curl reduction for up to 5 months. Okay, so we're going to discuss that later about how to make sure that we're getting the most out of our products as far as aftercare and whatnot. So stick with me to hear more about that and how we're able to get it lasting up to 5 months. So our the way we are able to deliver this, because we have patented what's called Juvexin. This is going to be our anti-aging keratin blend, which is in all of our products. We have shampoos for aftercare. We have styling line. We even have a color line, which we just added to. I'm sorry, we added several more colors too. So please come check it out when you get a chance. Our Miami Bombshell. Let me just grab this. Our GK Hair Miami Bombshell, which is right here, falls underneath the umbrella. If you're not familiar with our line, it falls underneath our umbrella of our best products. We have four different best products that are all taming systems, and they all do the same thing as far as lasting up to 5 months, giving you frizz free as well for up to 5 months. They're all done very similarly. The only difference with this is with Miami Bombshell, and we're going to discuss that today when I start doing our application and what those slight differences are. But they're all done pretty much the same, and they all have the same benefits to it. And they all have Juvexin, just like every single one of our products do. So with our best treatments, we have our original best, we have our best cocoa and best acai, which are new to our company, and they are our vegan line, part of our vegan line anyway. We also now today, which we're discussing, is our Miami Bombshell teaming system. So the reason we came out with Miami Bombshell teaming system, it was really designed for blondes. I mean, it's in the name, Miami Bombshell. So the reason we came out with it is because, with blondes in mind, of course, because we're not using any type of formaldehyde. Our treatments are 100% formaldehyde free. So our active ingredient that we do use, besides our Juvexin, which is our keratin, we use glycolic acid. Now, glycolic acid can, as well, I'm sure you're aware, if you're not aware, glycolic acid is a exfoliator. So it can actually cause some color shifting. So what we noticed when we came out with the best treatment is that some of our blonde clients, even myself, would have some color shifting. So what we did was our Miami Bombshell line, we came out with has an actual blue base to it. So I'm just going to show you an example from the bottle, and you could, I'm not sure if you can see that very well, but it does have a nice blue base. And once I put it into the bowl, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. So this prevents any color shifting to happen with blondes, especially because when color shifting with blondes, especially when you have beautiful pale blondes or an icy blondes, platinum blondes, could potentially shift to more of a warm tone that's unwanted. So this actually controls any unwanted tones that you may not want in your blondes, and especially if you're a nice platinum blonde and shifts slightly to a more warm blondes, that's your client's not going to be happy. So that's why we came out with our Miami Bombshell, and it is fantastic, wonderful results with it, and it really does prevent that unwanted change in color shifting. It does not tone any further, but it does prevent it from turning any kind of brassy tones. I'm going to show you real quick, and I don't know if you could see everything behind me. I do have all the product line behind me, but I'm just going to show you what our other treatments look like as far as underneath the best umbrella. So I already showed you the Miami Bombshells. our best product, and you can see we have all different sizes as well. This is our smallest size, and that's going to be a 3.4 ounce. This is our best cocoa. Again, this is part of our vegan line. This is our original best, and this is our 3.4 ounce tube as well, just in a different kind of bottle. And this is our best acai, which is also part of our vegan line, and this is our 10 ounce bottle, 10.1 ounce, sorry. We also have a 33.2 ounce, I believe it's 33.2, but just to round it off, 33 ounce. So we have multiple sizes to choose from for your needs. And it's very customizable as well, because not everybody's hair is the same. So having one treatment for all hair types is not unreasonable. So when we talk about keratin, it's very important to discuss with our clients what exactly keratin is, because there is a lot of misconception out there as to what keratin actually is. So a lot of our clients may think that it's a straightening system, which, while yes, it can remove curl up to 90%, it is not classified as a chemical straightener because there are no harsh chemicals to do that. We're not changing the disulfate bond, which permanently rearranges your hair into a curly pattern or straight pattern. So with that being said, it's very important to educate our clients as to what keratin is. Keratin's a protein. That's all it is. It's a protein found in our hair. We're born with it in our hair. And as we age, we lose it just from environmental changes or damage from environment, sun, coloring. All of these things will deplete keratin over time. So our job is to put the keratin back into the hair. And by doing so with our line anyway, we're able to do that with our patented Juvexin, which again is our anti-aging protein blend. And it actually works from the inside out of the hair because we're using all raw materials. It will never over-proteinize the hair. What I mean by that is, I'm sure you've all heard, if you're a hairdresser, you've gone to beauty school, too much protein can actually make the hair snap. Well, we figured that out by using it extracting it, in a raw state. We're able to control where the actual protein goes in the hair. So if you think of a road and the road has potholes, let's just say, our Juvexin will only go into the places it actually needs to go in those potholes. It's only going to fill that up. It's not going to layer on top of layer on top of layer onto already existing protein, which could potentially break the hair. So this is very comforting to know, obviously, because who wants their hair broken? We're here to make the hair better, more beautiful, healthier, and this is how we do it, by using our patented Juvexin. And again, it's in all of our products, no matter if it's our color line, it's in our shampoos, our styling line, because we do have a full styling line. We're basically a one-stop shop. We have an entire line for your salon needs. You don't need several different brands of leave-in creams or sprays. We have it all. Okay, so we'll discuss that a little bit later. Now, today, unfortunately, my model, I did have a live model, and she has beautiful blonde hair. She called me this morning. She woke up very sick. So I might have substitutes. Deborah. I have two Deborahs. So for time purposes today, because this is a Facebook Live class, I chose to do two models because I've already prepped one. So one is already waiting to be blow dried. And then this one here, this Deborah, I'm going to demonstrate the application. So this, again, this Deborah here, they're twins. Say hi. This Deborah is already processed and been rinsed. And I'm going to go through the process as well before we get started, as well as the tools you're going to need. So let's get to that first. But first you need a model, right? So here's our model again, Deborah and Deborah. Say hi to them. Don't be rude. All right. So our products tools that we're going to need today is obviously going to be our bowl, our brush. We have two different brushes you can choose from. We have what's called, this is more of our fine balayaging brush. This is our taming brush here, our GK taming brush. It has a comb on one side, as well as the brush on the other for application. You will need a fine tooth comb for sectioning. We do not comb this product through, but I'll get to that later. We have our wonderful vent brush here. As you can see, it's curved on the side and really hugs the hair and is amazing for detangling, because when we start off our treatments, which I'll get into further, we do have to clarify it. So when I get to that, I'll explain our clarifying. You do need gloves because the glycolic acid, again, is a exfoliant. While it's good for your skin, if you're doing multiple treatments in a day, your skin will be very exfoliated, but it may tingle a little bit. So we also need our plastic caps. You'll need a water bottle filled with warm water. Now, if you notice, this is our kind of what we call an old school water bottle because it's just a regular pump. You do not want to use a mister such as, let me just show you. Do not want to use a mister such as this, like our newer, our newer water bottles that mist out and have a continuous mist. And the reason we don't want to use one of those is because it's very important to use the warm water. And by using a mister, the mister will cool down that water before it reaches the hair. So we want to make sure that that water remains warm. So that is why we're going to use our traditional old school water bottle. We will also need our deep conditioner, which can be used in multiple different ways. This can also, on a side note, can be used as an add-on service for other treatments. It could be used as a mini keratin or an introductory keratin for clients who may be a little hesitant, but that's not the class for today. Well, there are classes on this particular product, so stay tuned for that. We're obviously going to need our Miami Bombshell taming system. Again, this is GK Hair Miami Bombshell taming system. That's what this demo, live demo is on. We are also going to need, we're going to need our pH plus shampoo. Now, this is very important. This is our clarifying shampoo. The reason it's called a pH plus shampoo is because it does have a pH level of 8.5. If you remember earlier, I discussed as far as changing the sulfate bonds, it's not a chemical straightener, our treatments. We need to manually open up that cuticle because there's nothing in our teaming systems to do that for us. So it's important that we do this manually. So having a higher pH will open up the cuticle and allow our Juvexin to get inside and work from the inside out the way it should. It's also newly vegan, so it's part of our vegan line now. So that's very exciting. pH plus shampoo. We will also need our moisture shampoo or our silver bombshell shampoo. Okay, because we're going to process this taming system on the hair for up to 60 minutes, by the way. And this is our silver shampoo, so you know. It also has a very blue base as well. And works wonders for aftercare as well. So you can use either one, moisture shampoo or our silver bombshell shampoo. You will also need our GK hair clips, which they're so cute and they hold very nicely. So what we're going to do in our process, and I'm going to bring Deborah over here, is first we're going to shampoo her hair, which I already pre-did for time purposes. So I'm going to call this Deborah 1 and Deborah 2 over there. So Deborah 1, I pH plus shampooed her, which is, again, our clarifying shampoo, and it does have Juvexin in it. So what does that do? It predisposes the hair to Juvexin prior to doing any of your teaming systems. It is our number one step, and you'll see on the bottle, not to be confused. Oh, excuse me. Our bottle, you'll see the number 1 on it right here. And then on other bottles, you'll see a 2, a 3, and a 4. This is not strength. Don't be confused with it. The 1 means this is this is the first step. Our teaming system, or systems for that matter, will always have a number 2 because that's the second step. And our shampoos and conditioners, shampoo would have a number 3 and conditioner number 4. So we have a saying, 1 and 2 stay with you, 3 and 4 go out the door, because 3 and 4 is going to be your shampoo and conditioners for aftercare. Okay, so that's what you want to take. You want your clients to take home to ensure that their treatments last up to 5 months. So I pH plus shampooed her 2 times. So you're supposed to use it either 2 to 3 times, depending on the hair. So basically, rule of thumb is you shampoo until you feel the squeak or hear the squeak. Okay, you want to make sure you rinse it completely out. You can leave the first shampoo on for 5 minutes. That does help enhance the opening of the cuticle. And when you're scrubbing the hair, you want to concentrate on the hair because the hair is where the keratin has depleted over time. All right, so you really want to take it in sections and scrub the hair. And again, you want to rinse each shampoo thoroughly out. Okay, if there's any lingering shampoo in here into the hair, it could prevent the treatment from working. So it's very, very important to make sure that you're doubly rinsing. So if you think you're done rinsing, just give it a little bit longer of a rinse just to double make sure that it's not still in there. Okay, so I did that 2 to 3 times. You do it 2 to 3 times. On her, I did it just twice. Now, with color treated hair, this is very important. You might want to take a note on this. You cannot color the hair the same day. You have to wait 2 weeks after or 2 weeks prior. I usually recommend 2 weeks prior because having color treated hair tends to work a little bit better on because the cuticle's already open. Now, there is one loophole to this. You can highlight the same day. So with the Miami Bombshell, that's perfect because it's going to act as a toner as well as a taming system. So you can highlight the same day when using Miami Bombshell or any of our best products. But generally speaking, we don't want to color the same day. We want to wait 2 weeks prior or 2 weeks after. And the reasoning is because that glycolic acid can cause a color shifting. Now, it's important to note this as well when doing any of our best treatments that you can color the hair right after the treatment if you have some unwanted color shifting. For example, if you have a redhead and the glycolic acid has shifted the color out slightly, you can go ahead and tone them the same day using no higher than 8 volume, which we do have in our line. We have an 8 volume, a 10 volume, a 20 volume, a 30, and a 40 volume. So utilizing that 8 volume afterwards is allowed, but nothing higher. Okay, so just to repeat that, after the service is completely done on the same day, and the client sees or you see that there's some kind of color shifting happening with any of our best treatments, which Miami Bombshell does fall under that category of the umbrella of the best treatment, you can color by toning with our 8 volume. So any of our colors you can use with 8 volume, but nothing higher. Okay, but again, if you're doing it before, it can cause color shifting with our taming system, the best treatments, all 4 of them. So you want to make sure to do it 2 weeks prior or 2 weeks after, unless you're highlighting. Highlighting is the one exception to the rule. Okay, so we're going to put the product on her hair and we're going to saturate the hair just like color. Okay, so we're not going to comb it through. I'm going to do one section here to show you and demonstrate the actual application. She will process for 30 minutes with a cap and under heat. So this is where Miami Bombshell differs slightly from the rest of our best treatments, because with our best treatments, you can process up to 60 minutes, 45 to 60 minutes, and it does not need heat. It's only the Miami Bombshell, 30 minutes with a cap and underneath the heat. And the reason we want to do that underneath the heat is because it activates the vitamin B12, which is in our Miami Bombshell taming system. So it really does help expose the hair to that vitamin B12 and allows the Juvexin to really get into the hair and work from its inside out. All right, so I pre-sectioned her hair already. Now, this is also very important that you want to note. You're going to section the hair in quadrants, as you can see. When you do so, you want to make sure the hair remains wet. And the reason we're doing this, any of our treatments for that matter, on wet hair is because we're a non-hydrolyzed protein. So it actually is using the water as a delivery system to get the Juvexin, our keratin, into the hair. And by doing that, you're actually using a lot less product. So it also saves you a lot of time. So you don't have to pre-dry the hair. You towel dry it and section it into your quadrants. If the hair dries prior to application, you want to re-wet it with your water bottle that has warm water and not the misting kind, right? Our old school water bottle. We're bringing it back. So I'm going to start to put my gloves on so we could start. I'm going to start with her left side quadrant for the application process. And when you're clipping the hair into your quadrants, please be assured that you're wrapping the hair tightly into a little, the Star Wars one, what's her name? I'm having a brain mishap. But you want to make sure that the ends are tucked in. So you wrap the hair, You don't want the hair to dry. So that's why you want to make sure when wrapping, you have it nice, tight, and ends in to help achieve or remain, I'm sorry, to help keep the water in the hair, to keep it moist. Okay. Getting my gloves on here. I'm gonna go get my treatment. Now, I spoke before about our treatments and our Juvexin being extracted in a cold press method. What does that mean? That means that all of these ingredients are raw. So it's very, very important to shake it. Okay, so you get your bartender skills out and start shaking your bottles. That goes for everything. Our shampoos, our conditioners, our developers, anything that has a liquid base to it in our line, you want to make sure to shake very well. This allows every time you pour it into the bowl, the same exact consistency, number one, and you get the same product throughout because it does tend to separate. And you don't want at the end of the bottle or halfway through to not have the same amount of Juvexin in there. That's a big no-no. So very important that we shake all of our bottles, okay? Very well. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour it. You don't need a lot of product. I always say, start off little. You can always add more to the bowl, but you can't put it back in the bottle, okay? So very important. So I start off with generally about a quarter of an ounce to half an ounce. Today I'm gonna use a quarter of an ounce because I'm only doing the application on one panel for time purposes, as I mentioned before. Oh, I didn't take the seal off. Ah, there we go. Okay. So I'm just going to show you how much I'm pouring in here. Again, I can add more if I need to, more than I wanted, but if you can see in the bowl, that blue tone in there, that's really going to help any unwanted color shifting due to the glycolic acid that we use as our active ingredient. So our two active ingredients are going to be Juvexin and glycolic acid. Again, that is just a exfoliator and it allows the Juvexin to get into the hair. So what it actually does is it softens up the cuticle and allows that Juvexin to get further inside the hair because that's how our Juvexin keratin works. It works from the inside out. So it's not like a Band-Aid. This is the best example, like an acrylic nail. So not that there's anything wrong with acrylic nails. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying with acrylic nails, if you ever notice, it's an overlay on your nail, but it doesn't actually nourish the nail. Okay, it just kind of sits on top, acts as a Band-Aid, and it looks really good. But when you take that acrylic nail off, there's no nutrients getting to that nail. So think of this as working from the inside out. So it's like giving the nutrients, sealing the Juvexin into the hair so that it stays within, and that's how it's working from the inside out. It goes down to the cuticle layer. All right, so we're gonna work in 1/4-inch sections. So you're gonna usually start at the nape of the neck and work your way up in 1/4-inch sections. Now you don't want to touch the scalp with our product because of that glycolic acid could cause a tingling or irritation on the scalp. So when I clip my section back up after I take my 1/4-inch section, I'm going to make sure that my ends are tucked in order to ensure that the hair stays wet. Again, if it does dry up on a section, you can re-wet it using our old school water bottle. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take a small, small amount, about this much. Okay. Now this does differ from our other treatments that we have other than the best. So again, we have 4 best treatments that fall under that umbrella, the best umbrella. And then we have 2 other treatments, which I'm not going to get into today, but they are our resistant and curly formula. That is done completely different. So if that's what you're used to and you're sitting here tuning in and you're like, what is she doing? She's putting too much product on. It's because it's a completely different umbrella, I'm going to call it. I like that term because it's the best umbrella and then the resistant umbrella. Okay, it's done completely different. So this one, we're actually going to saturate the hair, unlike the resistant and curly formula where you're using a lot less product. Okay, so by doing so, I'm going to go a 1/4 inch away from the scalp. Okay, that's actually pretty close. I'm going to show you what that looks like because I think we don't have a ruler on our fingers. So everybody's idea of a 1/4 inch could vary. So I'm just going to, I don't know if you could see that. Oh, maybe you can't see that. I'm not sure, but it's very close. It's right up here. Okay. I don't know if you, I can see it. There you go. So it's very, very close. Sometimes I see people coming down here. Now you want to get as close as possible without touching the scalp. That's a better way to explain it. So here we go. I'm going to get you a little closer so you can see my application. All right. So we're going to go down the hair shaft just like color. Okay. And when we start going to the ends, we're going to use our crisscross method. This ensures that it gets through the hair. Okay, we're just going to massage it in, and we can use our fingers to massage it upwards towards the scalp without touching the scalp. Okay, so we're just going to let it sit. Make sure it's saturated. We're just going to let it sit. We're not combing it through. The reason we're not combing it through is because we don't want to remove any product. All right. So again, we're taking a 1/4 inch section. We're going to wrap our hair back up into our lay bun. My brain started working again. The lay bun, not the space, the Star Wars. I almost said space. All right, we're going to wrap that up and tuck those ends in to ensure the hair stays wet. Switch over to using this brush now so you can see this, because this is great because you can comb it prior to really make sure the hair is nice and smooth. And take a small amount. I'm going to start off a 1/4 inch away from the scalp, very close as you can get without touching the scalp. And we're just going to run it through just like color. And when we get to this part, we're going to start doing crisscross. If you do need to add more, you can go ahead and add some. We want to make sure that the hair is saturated. Again, this treatment, if you're just tuning in, we are demonstrating our GK Hair Miami Bombshell Treatment, which falls under our best umbrella, which all 4 are done the same. Our best acai, which is part of our vegan line, and best cocoa, as well as part of our vegan line. Our original best and Miami Bombshell are all done the same way. Only difference here is Miami Bombshell, which we do process only for 30 minutes versus 60 minutes for the others under heat and cap. And just to reiterate, the reason we do that is because the heat does activate the vitamin B12. And notice I'm putting her hair back into that Princess Leia, but I'm taking my time to do so because I don't want her ends to dry out. All right, again, smooth that hair out with my palm side first. Have some product going a 1/4 inch away from the scalp, so as close as you can get without touching it. We're just going to massage it through, and then if you need more product like I do right now, just use a crisscross motion, as you can see that. So I'm just going back and forth to really make sure that hair is saturated. And we're just going to let it sit. That's it. No combing through. Next section. Again, 1/4 inch sections. Princess Leia bun going back in and ends tucked. And just remember, if you need to re-wet the hair, you can do so by using our old school water bottle with warm water. 1/4 inch away from the scalp. Massage it through. You can push it up a little towards the scalp. If you got it too far away from the scalp, definitely do that. Massage it right up there with using your pointer and middle fingers. And our crisscross method. Crisscross applesauce. You can tell I have a toddler. 1/4 inch section again. Princess Leia bun. And moving forward. So while I'm applying this, I'm going to talk a little bit about our aftercare. Now, I mentioned earlier that our treatments do last up to 5 months. This is due to our aftercare. If you're not using or your clients are not using the aftercare, there is no guarantee that it will last up to 5 months. There's no guarantee that the service will last at all, because our treatments, our shampoos and conditioners, all of our aftercare It has our Juvexin in there, which again is our anti-aging protein blend. It's our keratin. It's patented. No other company can use it. It's ours alone. So every time they shampoo their hair, you're depositing, or they're depositing our Juvexin back into the hair, creating a longer lasting treatment. Now I say up to 5 months because everybody's lifestyle is different. So it's important to note what your client's lifestyle is. Do they wash their hair every day? Do they go to the gym every day? Which can make a difference, because if they're washing their hair every day, the treatment may not last as long. So that's why we're able to say, or we do say, up to 5 months. And it's very important to stress that to your clients. So what I do with my clients, and there's 2 ways you can go about it, because I know a lot of clients are like, oh, well, I have sulfate-free shampoo at home, so I don't need to buy your shampoo. Well, there's 2 things wrong with that statement, because number one, it also has to be sodium chloride free, not just sulfate free. And just so you're aware, all of our shampoos are sulfate free, sodium chloride free, phosphate free, paraben free, DEA free, TEA free. It goes on. The list goes on. It's free of everything except for the cost. Okay. So it's very clean. It's very natural, all natural ingredients in it. So there's no reason not to use it. And besides that, all of that being free of, other shampoos don't have Juvexin. So not every keratin is created equal. And by what I mean by that is that every company out there, because there's several companies out there, they source their keratin differently. So I don't know where they're sourcing it from, but you can guarantee your results on your client's hair by making sure they use the shampoo, conditioner, and aftercare. So how I do it with my clients is one of 2 ways. One way is to have them sign a release form stating that they understand that if they do not use the shampoo and conditioner, that there's no guarantee that the treatment will work. That's one way. Another way to do it is to include it into the price, okay, of the treatment itself. So when you do your consultation, which is very important, by the way, of course, we always have to do a consultation with our clients to determine which treatment we're going to use, because we do have several different ones. But it's also to make sure that you're stating that in the beginning. So if you're going to include it into the price, you make sure that they know that. And it's a way to guarantee they're taking it home. Okay. And why not use it if you're taking it? Why would you not use it if you're taking it home? So that's a way to really guarantee the treatment working. Almost done applying this section. So those are the 2 ways to really ensure that your client's going to use those products, aftercare products. We do also have a full line, like I mentioned earlier. We have 3 different leave-in conditioners, which are very lightweight. We have one that's very, very lightweight. It's a spray. That spray smells very, very good, by the way. All of our products smell really good. But our spray is great for people for fine hair, but even people who go to the gym on a daily basis. So one of the issues that we have, it's not an issue, but chlorine, salt water, and sweat can deplete the keratin out of the hair. So how do we prevent that from happening? Our leave-in conditioners do so. So every time you go swimming, you would want to use our leave-in conditioning cream. You would wet the hair, put the leave-in conditioning cream in the hair, tie it up in a bun, go swimming, and rinse as soon as they come out, and repeat every time they go back into the water to protect their investments of the taming system. So our spray leave-in conditioner is such a lightweight conditioner that I recommend it to my gym goers who do sweat a lot, because the sweat can potentially deteriorate the keratin out of the hair, not allowing the treatment to last up to that 5 months. So these are all tools to maintain the treatment's longevity. So what I tell my clients who are gym goers to do is take the spray, and I'll show that to you. Rather look at it down here. So it's a very light spray, so you can see a little mist here. Okay. I spray it on my skin too sometimes. It smells so wonderful and it just nourishes my skin and it's not heavy at all. But what I recommend that they do is on dry hair near their scalp area, not too close, but generally by the root area, spray a little bit around to protect the hair from sweat. Okay, it does not leave the hair greasy. It will not weigh it down, and they can restyle their hair just fine with it and without, like I said, feeling greasy. So this is a great tool to really preserve the treatment into the hair and create that longevity that we're looking for in our treatments. And so, this is our leave-in cream. It's it's for thicker hair, but again, also used for swimming. And we also have a Miami Bombshell one, which has that blue base. Okay, I love this. This is amazing, especially when I'm out in the sun. Afterwards, I'll put this in and it tones out any unwanted yellow tones immediately. And you can leave it in. You don't have to rinse it out. And it spreads wonderfully. So we have a curling cream, and again, all of it has Juvexin. We have what else do we have? We have mousse. We have wax. We have a volumizer, which is amazing. By the way, I love our volumizer because you spray it by the root, and I've used other volumizers in the past, and what I don't like about them is that you can't get the brush through the hair when you're styling with the heat. So it kind of gets stuck and it feels a little crunchy or rough. This doesn't have that effect. Our volumizing spray, it's called Volumize Her, which is a very cute name, by the way. It really does the job of volumizing the hair without having that stiffness associated with it. Okay, so I'm getting to the last parts here, and we're doing the GK Hair Miami Bombshell demonstration here. And I'm saturating the hair 1/4 inch away from the scalp and massaging the product through the hair to ensure that it saturates in there. And we're using our crisscross method to ensure that to get in there. Let's get that away from your face. You want to work away from the face too. You don't want any hair falling into the face. Again, we're not combing it through. So here I noticed that my section started to dry up a little bit. So I'm going to wet it with my old school spray bottle. Sorry. There we go. And when you're spraying with the spray bottle, you don't want to spray the already applied hair. Okay, so you want to spray the hair that's not been applied with the treatment yet. You don't necessarily want it dripping wet, but you want it to be wet. You don't want any dry areas. Okay, again, the water in the hair is actually used as a delivery system. It's like a vehicle of transportation to get the Juvexin inside the hair. Because again, our Juvexin, which is our anti-aging blends, a keratin blend, sorry, or protein blend as well, works from the inside out. So it channels into the cuticle, into the cortex, and continues to work from the inside out. It does not just sit on top of the hair, creating a shell. So you're getting all those nutrients inside the hair, which is amazing. So all of my clients that I do, all of them get a treatment, by the way. Whether I'm doing highlights or not, we have several different options to choose from. We have about 9 different treatments that we can do. Some of them are more of a mini treatment, such as our color sealing. They all give taming results to the hair and frizz-free hair, of course, and can be used as add-on services. The mini ones, I'm sorry. So we do have this. So color sealing is one of them. We have our fast blow dry to choose from, which is just a spray, and that lasts up to about 12 washes. Our color sealing lasts up to about 2 months, while all of our other treatments, such as the Miami Bombshell, all of our best treatments, our resistant and curly formula, will last up to 5 months. So you can utilize these in your salon many different ways and offer them to your clients. So all of my clients, getting back to what I was saying, do get a treatment one way or another. No matter what I'm doing, if I'm just doing a haircut, they're getting some kind of treatment because, again, every single person that walks through your salon door is a candidate for keratin because they've lost their keratin that they've had their whole lives, just gradually. It happens. Environmental damage, coloring the hair. These are all things that'll deplete the keratin out of the hair. So what our job is to do is put that keratin back in and create that healthy, beautiful hair again. So it's like a fountain of youth. That's what I like to call it. It brings back that youthful state to the hair while giving you curl reduction. Now, the curl reduction is going to depend on the type of hair you're working on. So we would say up to 90% curl reduction with any of our best treatments. And that's going to be determined based on the hair texture. So if you have coarse, thick, curly hair, you're not going to see as much curl reduction as somebody who has very fine, over-processed hair, such as myself. I'm going to get more up to much more higher, maybe even higher than 90% curl reduction. So you're going to see straighter results with that. Okay, and that's very important to discuss that with your client on the actual expectations of what they're going to be getting. Okay, so again, it lasts up to 5 months or only guaranteed that if they're using the aftercare shampoo and conditioner. That's the most important. Sorry. Secondly, the leave-in conditioners are super important to maintain the longevity of our treatment. So we're going to process her under heat, under a hooded dryer for 30 minutes with the cap on. Okay. So I'm going to send my Deborah 1 off to the dryer. Be right back with Deborah 2. All right, so we have Deborah 2 here, which I've already applied the product on her hair. And after we do process for 30 minutes under the dryer with a plastic cap, we bring them to the sink and we rinse it out of the hair completely. So you rinse and rinse until you make sure that all the product's out. You don't want any product left over. And then we're going to wash the hair with either our moisture shampoo, which again has that number 3 in it because it's part of our aftercare. So it's a third step to any of our treatments, or you can use our Miami Bombshell Silver shampoo. Okay. And I know the bottles look alike as far as the Miami Bombshell Treatment and the shampoo. This is just a larger size, but the way you're going to be able to tell the difference, not only the name, because this one says Miami Bombshell and this one says Silver Bombshell. Okay, so, but it also has the number 2 for the shampoo. I'm sorry, 3 for the shampoo and 2 for the treatment. So that's another way to tell, so to not get confused. Okay. So I went ahead and I did a light shampoo with her with using our silver shampoo today. I did use the silver shampoo today. I did a very light shampoo, and then I left the deep conditioner on for 5 minutes. This is very important. Okay, so for all of our best treatments, you leave the deep conditioner on for 5 minutes. They could stay at the sink as long as they're comfortable, and then you rinse that completely through. And then we bring them back to the chair and we start our blow dry process. Okay, so when we're doing our blow dry process, it is very important to take small sections and start from wet to dry. Okay, don't pre-dry the hair. We want to take the smaller section, use a smaller brush than you normally would use, just because we're going to need that tension. I'm going to get into that in just a second. So I'm going to do this left panel here for time purposes. And then after we do the blow dry and the hair is 100% dry, we're then going to go ahead with our GK Hair Titanium Flat Iron. Okay, and our flat iron passes and temperature are going to be determined based on your client. Okay, so there's not a set temperature to set it at. You're really just going to use your common knowledge and intuition as integrity of the hair. You're going to take that in consideration as well. So it could be from 350 to 450. Okay, just depending on the type of hair, and you do as many passes until you see the shine. Once you see the shine in the hair, you know that you are done with the iron passes. Okay, there's no counting. You don't have to do 7 passes, 5 passes. It's not about that. It's until you see the shine. So everybody's different. With my hair, for example, it's very fine. Like I mentioned before, it's very processed. So for my hair, for example, I'm going to maybe do 2 passes on the end, maybe 3 at the root to mid shaft. Okay. All right. So let me get my blow dryer set up. We do have two different blow dryers at GK Hair, and they're really cute. This is our ionic one, and this is the one I'm going to be using today for her. And we have 3 different options for flat irons. So when I start flat ironing her hair, I will go into that. All right, so let me get this here. And I'm going to take my smaller round brush. We have 2 different size round brushes as well. Okay, this is double bristled in here to get that maximum tension. So when blow drying the hair, I mentioned just a few minutes ago that we have to make sure that we're using a high tension. So that's why I want you to use a smaller brush. The high tension is super, super important. This is probably the most important part of this entire process. The reason being is because that glycolic acid went in, and just so you're aware, the glycolic acid has a very low pH. If I'm sure at cosmetology school you went over skincare. So glycolic acid, again, being exfoliator, it's part of your alpha hydroxy acids. So with that being said, it does have a very low pH. So when the way the glycolic acid works in the hair is it softens up that cuticle. Once we wash it out and put the deep conditioner, which helps neutralize it back to a normal healthy pH at 4.5, that lower pH, what's doing after softening the cuticle, it's allowing us to now stretch the hair the way we want it. Okay, so it's not changing the disulfate bonds of the hair, but we're able to mold the hair to where we want it to be. So that high tension really needs to happen because we need to stretch that cuticle out, okay, after it's been softened. Very, very important. So we're going to take it from wet to dry, taking smaller sections than you normally would. And, it's very important. I know time is money, but it's very important to take your time and section the hair properly with straight sections. Don't just section sideways, because you want to make sure that every section you're blow drying with the round brush, and this goes for everything as well, as far as application, anything that you're doing with flat ironing, you want to make sure that you're getting the same tension on every single strand. So if I take an uneven section and I get a hair from up here and a hair from down here, the tension is going to be different on each or throughout that section. So very, very important that you're taking clean line sections. Here we are, you can see my nice straight line. There we go. Okay. You're gonna keep the hair when you bring them back from the sink, by the way, into your quadrants in their lay buns, because you want to make sure the hair stays wet. Okay, you don't want it to pre-dry. You want to dry it with that high tension. So we're going to use high tension and high heat. Okay, very important. High heat, high tension. And this goes for all of our best formulas, all 4 of them. Again, we have our best original, our best cocoa, and acai, which are 2 new ones that are vegan, and our Miami Bombshell. Try to get as close as I can without my wire stretching, so you guys can save it. I have to bring her back just a little bit. So I hold my blow dryer. This is called the best blow dryer, by the way. I hold my blow dryer like this. You do not have to do that. I'm just gonna, it's behind me. I hold it like this, but you don't have to. You can hold it like this. The reason I hold it like this at the nozzle is because I'm able to angle the blow dryer with the way the cuticle grows, or lays. So the nozzle should always be facing you. And this is how you're really going to seal that cuticle down properly. All right. And that tension that you're going to get with the brush is going to also help stretch that hair at the same time. Okay. So when I'm with the best blow dry, we're going to take our brush. So I'll smooth out the hair real quick. And we're going to, I start off on the top of the hair's section. Sorry. You can do the bottom, but I find that my first pass through, I get maximum tension by going into the top. And we're going to wrap that hair on top so we can get that grip. And you're just going to pull it down slightly here. And you're going to work, and you want to try to pull the hair out 90 degrees. And it's challenging with a mannequin head. Try to pull it 90 degrees as much as possible you can. And we're going to work from the root to mid shaft first. We're going to make sure that that is 100% dry before we move on to our ends. Okay, this is important to get maximum tension into the hair section. Sorry. So if you're going from, let's just say root to end, you're not getting much tension. So it's very important to work from root to mid shaft first. Stop the brush by the mid shaft, and we're just going to work that blow dryer in, and you can see how the nozzle is facing the direction the hair cuticle lies. All right, so that's going to help seal it down. So I'm going to turn my blow dryer on, and you'll feel the tension in here release slightly once the hair from root, as you're working down the hair shaft, dries. So from root to mid shaft, you'll feel that hair slightly losing tension on the brush, and the brush moving down the hair shaft. And that's when you know that you can move further down because that section's already dry. Okay, let's turn my blow dryer on. High heat, high flow for the best treatments. Our GK Hair Miami Bombshell teaming system, as well as our best teaming syrup. Okay. Notice my brush hand is staying still. I'm only moving my blow dryer. And this is what we call our best blow dry. And also angling the blow dryer this way, you're able to not burn your scalp. So you don't burn your client. So what I like to do is I like to move my brush around a little bit once I get the first part on top done. I'll then go to my side, so I create like a box almost. So this is the top of the box, this is the side of the box, the other side of the box, and the bottom of the box. So then I'll take my brush and I'll go in sideways like this and wrap the hair to get that ultimate, oh, she's moving around on me, ultimate tension. And then I'll work my blow dryer sideways to get this area if you can't see it. So my blow dryer will then dry this way. And this ensures that you're getting maximum tension on every single strand the same. And when you do your blow dry like this, you'll notice when you're done, it almost looks like it doesn't need to be flatter because it's so tiny, okay? The cuticle is not laying upward, it's still down. But you do have to flatter it. Don't think you don't, it's still there. Right, and then I'll go on this side, and I'll work this side of my box on the section. And you work root to mid shaft first, and then I'll go under. And now my tension has released a little, so now I'm moving on towards the end, which I'm still creating the tension with my brush. And again, I'm moving only the blow dryer, I'm not moving the brush. I'm working smarter, not harder. And go ahead and just finish off the end. Just go over it one more time just to make sure it's 100% dry. But again, you will feel that brush move down the hair shaft when it's dry. Because you'll feel more tension when the hair is wet, but then you know you're done. Okay? You want to make sure the ends are nice and straight as well. Moving on to my next section, we're taking a smaller section. Lifting this up first, just giving the blow dryer, making sure the nozzle is in the same direction as the cuticle. So you should be able to feel the air hitting you. So your hair should be able to do that. It's a little too high for me right now. I could lower her and then I'd feel it more, but I feel it on my chest here. So you should be able to feel that air on you if you're doing this correctly. If you don't get maximum tension on your blow dry for the best or Miami Bombshell, treatment, the treatment does not work as well. And you can marry the two sections together. After each section is dry. When you move on to your next section and it's completely dry, you can marry it together with the previous section. On the bottom. And this treatment allows you to get a lot of body in the hair too. So it's a reason to choose the best. If your client doesn't want to leave without having maximum body in the hair, this could be one reason to choose our best treatment. Or another reason to choose our best treatment versus our other treatments, such as the resistant curly formula, is that they don't want to wait to wash their hair for 48 hours. So our resistant and curly formula, you would have to wait 48 hours to wash your hair. But with our Miami Bombshell teaming system, as well as our best teaming systems, all 4 of them, they can wash their hair immediately. That's why you can color right after with a 8 volume or lower, nothing higher, okay? Because you're able to wash them immediately. They don't have to wait that 48-hour turnaround period, or wait time, I should say. Okay, so it's appealing to some customers because a lot of customers or clients don't want to wait that 48 hours. Okay, or they can't go to the gym for 48 hours with using that other treatment, with using our resistant and curling formula. But with the best, they can go to the gym. They don't have to miss a day. Okay, so that's important to know when choosing which treatment you want to use on your client. That's why the consultation is very, very important. Okay. And just so you're aware, every Monday we do have online Facebook Live classes for all of our treatments. So if there's a treatment you haven't learned about yet, such as our resistant or our color healing or our fast blow dry, just take a look at our calendar for our upcoming classes and you'll be able to catch one of them. I love the options that GK Hair has when I'm using them on my clients, because again, not everybody's hair is the same. So having one treatment for all hair types is not feasible, in my opinion. And that's why I love GK Hair. I started with GK Hair a little over 10 years ago. And I've been with them ever since. I haven't used another treatment, period treatment besides them, because it does what it says it's going to do, the GK Hair. Okay, so I'm just going to lower her a little bit because I'm short. She's a little too tall for me. So let's see. Okay. So just give me 1 second. I apologize. Oh, there we go. Hope you can still see her. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to finish up this section here. Oh, my phone's I apologize. Okay. All right. Just grab my blow dryer again. All right. So I'm on this last section on the front quadrant, left side quadrant. High flow again, maximum tension. And to achieve this, we're going to start with a smaller brush than we would normally use. So the hair completely wraps around in order to get that tension. And if the client wants body, go up 90 degrees. All right, so we're going to wrap that hair around, like I said. And pull it till it stops. With the brush until the brush stops. And then you're going to give it its maximum tension from there. Then it's going to work. And you see how I'm holding the hair at 90 degrees so you get full body. So my blow dryer will move accordingly. And my nozzle is still facing the direction that the cuticle lies. So I'm keeping that tension with the brush. I'm not moving the brush at all. If you move the brush from this to midshot, this to midshot, you're not going to get the tension you need for this cervix. Then I'm going to go under. If you guys have any questions while watching this demo, please don't hesitate to type in a question. They'll relay it to me, and I have no issues answering them. So I'm going upward. If you notice, my blow dryer is almost upside down in order to get this volume in her hair and close down that cuticle. And I'm just rotating the brush on the end to get that maximum tension. And then once that tension releases naturally, I'm just going to smooth out the end straight. And I'm marrying the last section together with it, so it's all seamless. And this model, you'll see her highlights in the front here did not turn, did not shift. Her highlights in front did not shift. They didn't turn brassy. They didn't turn an unwanted yellow or anything like that because of the blue base in our GK Hair Miami Bombshell teaming system. So it really helps to make sure that there is no color shift in an unwanted way, such as yellow or brassiness on blondes. All right. I was lifting her off the I will put her off the face here. My tripod. All right, finish here. We're gonna work on her end. There we go. And I'm just gonna, when I finish up this last section, I'm gonna bring her closer to the camera so you can really see that sign because the sign is unbelievable just with the blow dry. And you can utilize this technique of blow drying on your everyday clients, even if they're not getting a treatment. It's a wonderful way to do a blow dry because it actually saves your back. You're not stressing it so much, and you're not doing this. You're just moving the blow dryer. So it really is stress relieving on your back as well. So it's a great technique that we've come up with for this treatment, and I do utilize it regardless if I'm doing a treatment or not. Okay, so I'm gonna bring her over just so you can see that shine in her hair. Okay, so you see that shine in there, and that's not even flat ironed yet. And notice how her hair highlights, her highlights did not shift. They're still the beautiful tone that she wanted them to be. Okay. My model that I did have scheduled for today, she has platinum hair, but again, she called me and woke up very sick this morning. So my hand is kind of So I couldn't use her. So I have my two mannequin models. I just had water on my hand and I just touched her hair. So I'm just going to go over it really quickly again on the front back then. No. And that, my friends, is called the best blow dry. We call it the best blow dry for a reason. It's all in the name. Okay, so now I'm going to set up my flat iron. For her hair, I'm going to set it at 400. And then my passes will vary throughout the head. So generally speaking, on every client that I do with the flat ironing, I always do more passes on, from root to mid shaft and less passes from mid shaft to ends, because the hair is older on the ends and has been more compromised throughout the years. So we want to make sure we keep the integrity of the hair fully intact. So I'm lessen my passes. You don't necessarily have to lessen your heat. You want to decide your heat right from the beginning based on their textured hair, whether it's processed, over processed, virgin hair. That's all going to depend on what temperature you set your iron at. Very important that you do use a titanium iron. We have 4 different irons to choose from with GK hair. I'm sorry, 3 different, I apologize. I have 2 of them here with me. This is our D700 or 600. It's our 1-inch flat iron, but it's longer than most traditional irons. It is titanium. It's guaranteed titanium. I highly recommend that you buy one of our titanium irons because it ensures that it actually is titanium. This is our easy control. Okay, it's about a 1.25 thickness. I don't know exactly the measurements on it. We do have them online, so you can check it out. This is my favorite one, okay, because it does hold a lot of hair in it. I'm just going to set it real quick. It has a digital screen here, touch screen. So I'm just going to turn it on. It does have a locking mechanism to make sure that you don't leave it on overnight by accident or when you leave the salon. It does shut off, but also locks so you don't accidentally press the digital, or not digital, I'm sorry, the numbers, the arrows, I'm sorry. And it has a locking mechanism right here too. So it doesn't, when you wrap your flat iron or put it away for the evening, you don't wrap it around this and it doesn't close all the way. So there's the lock at the bottom. I'm just going to switch it open and there it goes. Okay, so when I store it, hold it there and I close it, and it leaves for very healthy storage of your flat iron. You don't ever want to close it and have it too tightly together because it could shift the plates, and you don't want to wrap the wire around your flat iron because it can cause faulty wiring. All right, so I'm setting her temperature with our touch screen. That's what I was looking for before. So it does have that lock. So in order to engage or disengage the lock, you have to slide it down and the lock disengages, and then you can control your temperatures. But it's there for a reason so you don't accidentally touch the touch screen and change the temperature while you're working. Okay, so I'm set it for 400. I'm just going to let it warm up for a second. Get my little yard. Move this out of the way. So does anybody have any questions for me at this point, at this time? I'd love to hear from you. Has everybody done a service such as this, used our best treatments? Is anybody new to GK hair, just joining in? If you are just joining in, just so you know, we're doing a demonstration on our GK hair Miami Bombshell teaming system, which gives the hair up to 5 months of frizz-free hair, as well as up to 90% curl reduction, depending on the hair type you're working with. It is 100% formaldehyde-free. Our 2 active ingredients that we use in there are going to be glycolic acid, which, as you know, is going to be is an exfoliant, and it helps soften up the cuticle. And then we stretch it to become straight and smooth and frizz-free, as well as our Juvexin, which is our patented anti-aging keratin blend. So that is our keratin basically, and what we're doing is putting it back into the hair after losing it, after the older you get, the more keratin you lose. And being out in the sun and environmental damages such as sun, wind, color, all of these things can help deplete it out of the hair. So we're creating healthier hair by adding that Juvexin into it. And again, just so you're aware, every client that walks through your door is a candidate for keratin treatment because everybody has lost keratin in their hair over time. So every single person can use it. And what's great about our best treatments is it's very customizable. Again, we have several different products to choose from for teaming and our keratin treatments to adjust to the client's needs. So if you wanted to keep the hair, their natural curl in there, you just wanted to get rid of the frizz, you're able to do that. Okay, so that's why we have several different ones. But our best treatments in Miami Bombshell, especially with the best treatments, the maximum time is 60 minutes, but you can leave it on 45 minutes to retain as much curl reduction as you can. I mean, to retain the curl in the hair. I apologize. All right, so I'm going to start at the base. Usually you start at the base of the neck. But I'm just doing this one section for time purposes. I don't want to bore everybody on Facebook Live. And we're going to start with 1/4-inch sections. And we want to make sure again that our sections are straight and we don't have crooked lines. Crooked lines means crooked hair. But for real, you won't get the same smoothness on every strand. And the same thing with the blow dry, you won't get the maximum tension on every strand. It'll be different throughout. So you really want to make sure that you're parting the hair with straight lines. So I'm just going to open this up. We have our comb here. It's a rubber comb. It is heat protected, so it doesn't melt, which I love. It's a great tail. I love this tail comb. Okay, so I'm just going to take the hair. We're going to smooth it out with our comb. And what I like to do is I smooth the hair with my fingers to my pointer finger and middle finger out 90 degrees. So I get right to the scalp area, the root. If I hold it down, you'll have a crease line. So holding it out 90 degrees allows you to get closer to the scalp without burning them either. My line's not straight. Excuse me, I had to straighten that. Okay, there we go. I smooth it and I stop with my fingers at the mid shaft point. And what I'll do is I go in and I'll tap the root with my iron just to make sure I get close to that scalp. And then I'll just smooth it down to the mid shaft. Okay, until I see that shine. And I stop at the mid shaft for a reason. This allows me to monitor the amount of passes that I do differently on the ends. And then I'll pick it up with my comb at that mid shaft point, and then I'll comb it through on the ends and just do the mid shaft to ends now. Okay, so when I pick it up with the comb at that mid shaft point, I'm able to direct my flat iron at that point just to the ends. So this way I'm making sure I'm doing less passes on the ends. And again, you'll know when you're done ironing when you see the shine. Okay, so don't keep a number in your head, because even at the front hairline or around the entire hairline of the head, the hair is much more fragile. It's much more not necessarily compromised, but it's thinner. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're keeping that into consideration and keeping that integrity of the hair by only doing the necessary passes. So until you see that shine is when you stop. All right, let's take my next section. Again, I'm holding it at 90 degrees. If you're unsure of where to find 90 degrees, the head is round, so it changes every inch of the head. So an easy way to find it is you take your comb and you take the top part of your comb and you put it flat against the head. Where that point lays is where 90 degrees is. So right now it's here, right? That's where I'm taking my part from. So 90 degrees comes straight out at me. Okay. When I go on top of the head, it changes. It changes on directly upwards when I'm at the very top of the head on the crown and in the front too. So that is the easiest way to find 90 degrees if you didn't know already, which I'm sure you probably did, but I just love that little fun fact. Tap, tap by the root, and then I just bring it down to the mid shaft till you see that shine. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab it up with my comb at the mid shaft, bring my iron back in at the mid shaft, and seal down those ends. There we go. You see she gets body right at the root. This way she doesn't have to leave here with flat hair. She wants body. That's what she told me anyway, right, Deborah? Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, she told me at the beginning she wants to leave here with body. So I said, okay, we're going to give you body. So holding the hair out 90 degrees is going to help achieve that. 1/4 inch sections going up the hair. Holding it up 90 degrees is going to give her the body she wants, along with getting it close to her scalp, as close as you can to the scalp without burning her. So tap by the root, go down to the mid shaft as many times as it takes to see that shine, and then drop it into my comb at the mid shaft point. Go back in with my iron to seal down those ends until I see that shine. There you go. Looking good, Deborah. All right, next section. So for her take home, for her hair, because her hair, she has medium textured hair. It's a little dry. Well, was really dry until I did her treatment. But for her take home, for her type of hair, she said she doesn't have oily scalp. She tends to get more dry of a scalp. She can go generally a week between washing. So with that being said, I'm going to recommend either our moisture shampoo for her hair with our moisture conditioner, or our CBD shampoo and conditioner, which is my personal favorite. I love the way it smells. And it's also part of our vegan line and has CBD in it. Okay, so I'm going to recommend those because those have a lot of moisture to it to help maintain that moisture in her hair and the keratin in her hair. We also have a shampoo and conditioner if your hair tends to get a little oily. It's called our balancing shampoo. So this will make sure that your hair does not become oily too fast, and controls unwanted oils from the scalp. We also have a UV shield shampoo and conditioner to protect your hair from the sun rays, which is great if you're down in Florida here with me. I'm in Florida. I'm in Boca Raton right now. In the sun is so strong down here and can damage your hair. UV rays are damaging not only just to your skin, but to your hair too, and can also shift your color. All right, so that we have a UV shampoo and conditioner protector, the UV protection shampoo and conditioner, I'm sorry. You saw already our Silver Bombshell shampoo, which is a must when you have blonde hair because it really does control that unwanted yellow tones in your hair and brassiness. It is very highly pigmented. So I like to generally leave it on for a few minutes in the shower and keep it on there without sudsing it up first. I like to just put it on almost like conditioner. And then after that couple minutes, I'll then go ahead and lather it in the hair. And I find that gives me the best results. We also have an anti-dandruff shampoo because we don't want our clients going to the store and buying some other brands and stripping out our keratin because it's not sodium chloride free, sulfate free, phosphate free, DHA free, TEA free, paraben free. It's not free of all of that when you go to the drugstore and get a shampoo over the counter. So we wanted to make sure that all of our clients' needs are met. So that's why we came out with a dandruff shampoo. And it has zinc in it as an active ingredient to control any unwanted dandruff. It is FDA approved as well. So our options are there. We have something for everyone. And we don't have, 3 different mousses or 5 different mousses to confuse clients. We have one that works for all hair types. All of our products are good for all hair types, okay? So what that does for you as a salon owner or stylist, it allows you more freedom cost-wise as well, because you don't have to carry 10,000, excuse me, that's exaggeration, but you don't have to carry so many of one thing with different options. There's one option for all hair types. It works. So see, now I'm holding the hair up 90 degrees to give her that volume. I'm going to tap by the root, I'm just gonna go up to the mid shaft. It's gonna give her that body and allow me to get right to that root area. And then I'm gonna catch it into the mid shaft and go right to those ends to seal them down. So I see that shine. But yeah, that's one of the things I love about this line. It doesn't have so many different options that are confusing to our clients. We have something that's good for all hair types. Our mousse, again, is great for all hair types. Our serum, which is amazing. By the way, if you haven't tried it, it is liquid gold, I call it, because not only is it gold color, let me show you. It smells fantastic. It doesn't weigh the hair down. It's not oil, it's a serum, but it does have argan oil in it. And I actually put this on my skin and it absorbs so well. And it absorbs obviously into the hair very well too. So even if you think you put a little bit too much, it never leaves the hair oily or weighed down or greasy looking. It absorbs very nicely. But when I do use this on my skin, I have people come up and say, what perfume are you wearing? It smells so good, because the scents are amazing from GK, and especially the serum. The serum, like I said, people comment or ask me all the time when I do wear it, what perfume are you wearing? I'm like, it's serum on my body. It's great. So if you haven't tried it, please do try it. It's amazing. And that serum is good for all hair types. And again, it has Juvexin in it, which is in all of our products. And just to repeat myself, because I just love repeating myself, Juvexin is our keratin. It's a anti-aging protein blend. And we derive it in a cold press method. So you're getting all of the nutrients that you need in a raw state. It's like vegetables. You eat a cooked vegetable versus a raw vegetable. Which one do you get more nutrients out of? The raw one, right? So you want your products to be raw too, in a raw state. And that's how we do it in a cold press method, to maintain the raw state of it. So you get maximum nutrients out of it. Okay, let's go with this section. I hope you're enjoying this demonstration today. Our other Deborah's timer went off under her dryer, which the dryer stopped automatically. So when I'm done here today with you guys, I'm going to go ahead and rinse her out completely. Then I'm going to shampoo her either with our moisture shampoo or our silver bombshell shampoo. And then I'm going to leave our deep conditioner on for 5 minutes at the sink. I'm going to rinse that out, bring her back over to the chair, and I'm going to do my fast blow dry, which you just saw previously. And that is going to be a high tension, high heat blow dry and high flow blow dry. Okay, maximum tension to ensure that it works. Because we do need to stretch out that cuticle in order for stretch out the hair to because I'm sorry, let me say that again. The cuticle is softened by the glycolic acid, and we need to go ahead and stretch that hair with that high tension and seal that cuticle down in order to get the results that we want. And then we go ahead and we flat iron it like I'm doing now. So I will finish the other Deborah number 1 that I applied in front of the camera today after we're done here. But you saw the whole treatment today. I'm glad I was able to have my mannequins here, since my poor model, she's so sick. I feel so bad, but she was a great model too, because she has beautiful platinum hair, which I use on her, our GK Hair Juvexin lightening powder plus on her, and it comes out such a beautiful platinum. We have several different lighteners to choose from. They're all wonderful. We just came out with 2 new ones. They lift up to 9 levels, and they just had, the one has, I believe it's lightening powder 0. That one has hyaluronic acid in it. The light powder mask as well is very hydrating on the hair. So those are our 2 new lighteners. Check them out if you haven't done so already. We have our original lightening powder plus. It also lifts up to 9 levels, and they lift fast too. So I generally, when I'm doing highlights, I actually start with 8 volume. And then as I go through the head, I increase the volume as needed. So yeah, we have a full line. Check it out if you haven't done so already. We really have amazing stuff, but I wish you were here to see my model's hair, the platinum that I did on her with our lightening powder plus. It's just phenomenal. And like I said, we have a full color line as well that acts as a permanent and a demi-permanent in one box. So you don't have to buy two different lines or two different types of color. Okay, space saving, cost effective, and our tubes, just so you're aware, if you didn't know this already, our color tubes are 3.4 ounces. 3.4 ounces. And our mixing ratio would be 1 to 1.5. So you're using a lot less color than you normally use at a 1-to-1 ratio, which again is very cost effective and saves you money. Okay, and that's very important. Time is money and money is money. That's what we're here to do. We're here to make money. So it also has the Juvexin in it too. So it's amazing. You get the nutrients in the color. It's also vegan, our color line. So like I said, you have to check it out if you haven't done so already. We are almost done here with our demonstration of our GK Hair Miami Bombshell Taming System. I hope you enjoyed it today. Again, if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to go ahead into the chat and type in the question, and our team will relay it to me so I can answer it either live here or if it's after the fact, they'll transfer it over to me and send it to me so I can answer any of your questions. I'm loving how it did not alter or shift her blondes in a negative way at all because of that blue base in our Miami Bombshell taming system. It's a game changer. It really is. I was so happy when they came out with it because I always loved the best. The best was always my favorite taming system because I have curly hair and I like to keep my curl, and that to me was the best option for me. And when I did it, it did have a color shift slightly, so I'd have to wait to tone it or I could have toned it that the same day, but I didn't want to do that. So when they came out with Miami Bombshell, I was just like in heaven because I don't have to worry about it. I do my treatment and it doesn't shift my color. It's amazing. Designed for blondes. And as a blonde, thank you. Thank you so much, GK Hair. All right, my last section here. Your blonde stayed so pretty, Deborah. You're gonna love this treatment. I'm happy to have met all your hair needs today. All right, what I like to do on her ends is I'll add a little serum if she has any like flyaways or anything like that. Definitely if she needs a trim, I would go ahead and trim it afterwards. You know, we are doing a taming system. If I was able to cure split ends without cutting them, I'd be a millionaire, but can't do that. So we do have to trim them, okay? Because we're smoothing the hair with our taming system, and it can, if they do have substantial split ends, can visibly make them more noticeable. So we want to make sure we cut that off, to any split ends that she may have. I'm going to do so in a little bit. She doesn't really have much split ends. You can take good care of your hair, Deborah. You've been listening to me. You've been using the leave-in conditioner, right? I knew it. There it is, right from Deborah's mouth. So here's her hair. I'm going to just put a little serum in. Our Juvexin serum with argan oil in it. I'm just going to lightly go over the top here. Now, she can go home and she can wash her hair if she wants to. It looks so beautiful. I don't know why she would, but she could if she wanted to. She can go swimming. She could go in the pool. She can go in the ocean. She can go work out if she wants to. Not a problem. There's no wait time whatsoever to wash her hair. When she colors it again, if she needs to color it, she has to wait 2 weeks unless she's coloring with 8 volume or lower. Okay, it's very important to note that. So if you weren't taking notes, you might have missed that. Take a note of that. Be sure to, if she needs it colored in the next 2 weeks, only use 8 volume or lower. Okay, otherwise she has to wait 2 weeks to get it done. Okay. Now just to review, you can see the shine, by the way. Look at that shine. And it's just beautiful. And those highlights just stayed immaculate. I'm hoping you get to see the color as well as I can in real life here. I know the camera sometimes can take away, but look at that shine and look at the movement in her hair. It's so healthy. All right, so just to review, we first started with our pH plus shampoo. This is Deborah number 1. I'm gonna rinse her out when we're done here. pH plus shampooed her 2 times. You could do 2 to 3 times to open up that cuticle manually. So we want to use it in section or scrub it in sections, making sure that you're getting every strand and just manually opening up that cuticle with your hands. And the pH plus shampoo has a pH of 8.5. So that is going to help open up the cuticle as well, because the higher the pH, the more open the cuticle is. Okay, so healthy hair sits at a 4.5, and that's, when we're done, we want that to be a 4.5. But to open it up, we want it to increase that pH to allow the Juvexin to get in. So we washed her hair 2 times. You can leave the first shampoo on for 5 minutes if she has coarser hair. Maybe if she's virgin hair, she has never colored her hair, you might want to do that, because colored hair's cuticle is already open. So it's one less thing that we have to do to allow that Juvexin to get inside the cortex. So you leave that shampoo on, like I said, for 5 minutes, the first one. You could do up to 3 shampoos if you'd like. Then we brought her back to the chair. We kept her wet by parting her hair into quadrants and making sure that her ends were put into Leia buns, princess Leia buns, and nice and tightly so it remains wet. If the hair dries throughout your application prior to applying the treatment, you can go ahead and wet it with warm water in our old school water bottle, not a mister. Very important. The mister will cool down the water as it comes out. So we want to make sure that we're using our old school pump style water bottle with warm water. We're going to start off with the back section quadrants, working from the nape up on the hair, and we sectioned it into 1/4-inch sections, applied a 1/4 inch away from the scalp, massaged it into the hair to fully saturate it, doing a crisscross technique with our brush really helps saturate it as well, and we let it sit. We did not comb it through because we did not want to remove any product out of the hair. We then put a plastic cap when we finished applying the entire treatment, a plastic cap on her head, and under heat for 30 minutes. Then we rinsed her out and washed her with our Silver Bombshell shampoo. You can also use our moisture shampoo, like I mentioned earlier. Then you put our deep conditioner in the hair, let that sit for 5 minutes, rinse that out, bring her back to the chair, do our best blow dry, very important. Smaller brush, high heat, high flow, high tension. Very, very important to stretch out that hair and seal that cuticle down, okay? And then we went ahead and flat ironed her with our titanium flat iron. Must be titanium. It cannot be ceramic or any other metal. It has to be titanium. Titanium is the only thing that is going to crystallize that Juvexin into the hair. So it's very important that it's titanium. We have 3 options to choose from. Our largest one, which I didn't mention earlier, is our One Control. It's bigger than this one, so you get a lot more coverage. If they have long hair or if it's very coarse, it goes through the hair much easier, okay? It's also much longer as well, so it's wider and longer, so you can hold more hair in it and get through it faster. And I set her temperature at 400. That's depending on the client you have, is going to change, okay? So if they have fine processed hair, you're going to want to maybe lower the temperature down to 300, 350, maximum temperature up to 450. But I never really use 450 because I don't have, if only if they have really coarse hair and they're virgin hair, maybe I will, but I generally don't have any virgins coming in here. Everybody gets color. That's just a joke. Anyway, so thank you guys so much. This is the results of our Miami Bombshell theming system. I hope you loved it. I hope you loved our class. Please check us out every Monday. We do have live Facebook classes on here, and it covers a wide variety of topics such as our color line, our lighteners, all of our treatments. We have 9 different treatments to check out. We have great add-on services that you can utilize in your salon for, your in-between clients. Let's just say you have a client canceled, you can add on to your existing clients that are already into your book to make up for that difference. Okay, so it's really a unique line. GK Hair, I've been with them again for about a little over 10 years. And I would never use another keratin treatment ever because it works. GK hair, what we're goal is to create healthy, beautiful hair. And that's exactly what it does, as you can see here today. And again, check us out every Monday. You'll see more healthy and beautiful hair. Thank you so much. This is Rachel Summer. And if you have any questions, feel free to type it out and they'll send it on over to me, and I have no problem answering them for you. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you again for joining us. Yay! And say goodbye to Deborah. Bye, guys. Bye, Deborah. All right, thank you. I'm going to sign out now.